Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. As promised, here is the more advanced guide on how to sim your character with the Simulationcraft program itself. So what is the difference between the basic and the advanced guide? In the basic guide we used raid bots in combination with the Simulationcraft add-on and the pawn add-on, which basically means that it is an easy way to just calculate your DPS and your stat priority to be sure what items are going to be best in slot for you. Raid bots just does the very basics. Because Simulationcraft you can change the iterations, which means the amount of boss pulls that the program is going to do for you. You can change the fight styles. This means not alone patchwork fights, but heavy AoE fights, heavy movement, slow movement. You know, all of that stuff are things that you can change. You can change the length of the fight. So let's say Fallen Avatar is a pretty lengthy fight. You can change it from 300 seconds to a 800 seconds fight. So depending on how long the fight is, you can all change those things. So this is why I really like to use Simulationcraft. It does take a long amount of time depending on how fast your computer is to simulate everything, especially the scaling takes a long time. So it's pick and choose, guys. Raid bots is going to be the easy way out, but if you want to be sure that you're doing everything to get the most amount out of your character, then go ahead and use Simulationcraft. So first of all, I will put links in the descriptions, to all of the websites that I use. So first and foremost, go to the simulationcraft.org website and be sure that you take the 7.2.5 version, just the one that corresponds with the current patch. So download the 64-bit or 32-bit. And then also be sure that you download the Simulationcraft add-on from the curse.com website. If you have done all of those things, guys, then go ahead and open Simulationcraft. On Simulationcraft itself, we take options, and on the options menu you can see a whole lot of things, but the only things that we are interested in right now is just pick and choose EU, active, depending on US or EU, live, and then here 25,000 iterations is the maximum amount of iteration that we can pick, the amount of boss pulls that the program is going to do for us. Length of the fight, we can change this, but for now, for the video's sake, we are going to keep it on 300. And then patchwork, like right here, you can see you can change all of the type fight styles, like from hectic add cleave to heavy movement, frequent add spawns, movement, stuns, interrupts, heavy movement, light movement, beast lord with random movement, advanced positioning, frequent single and wave spawning of adds, casting patchwork fights, tank and spank. You can all change all of these things, and of course your stat priority will also change. And do take in consideration that you need to change your talents for AoE builds if you want to pick and choose different fight styles. But for the video's sake, we are going to take patchwork. Then this all stays the same. Target and tanking options stays the same. For threats you want to pick 8, and then be sure to, with process priority, take low, because otherwise it's going to take all of your CPU's power to do the simulation and you won't be able to do anything on your computer. So for trolling, just take super high, take above normal. No, just take low. And then for world lag, just the lag that you play with, so pick and choose the MS. And then go to scaling. This is really important, guys. You want to pick scaling for the sake of that way. This is also a way to achieve your pawn string, but I'm not going to use that in this video. But the enable scaling gives you the scale factors. So scale factors basically means your stat priority. So click enable scaling, and then pick and choose the scales, scale factors. So for me, it's going to be intellect, crit, haste, mastery, and versatility. Of course, crit, haste, mastery, and versatility is always going to stay the same. The only thing that changes for you guys might be agility and strength. So when we have done all of those things, guys, go to import, and on import we can see the last option is SimC add-on. This is what we want to do. So pick the string from SimC add-on into World of Warcraft. So this is the next thing that we do, guys. Reopen your World of Warcraft. And in World of Warcraft, take the character that you want to sim with. Right now I'm going to use the Fire Mage. Be sure again that you pick talents for single target fight. So for the Fire Mage, most of the time this is going to be your setup for single target fights. Go ahead and type /simc. I can type. Nice. Ha. simc, Control C to get the entire string. Go to the Simulationcraft program and copy paste it. Then we right hand corner click on import, and then afterwards guys you want to click on simulate. Now depending on how fast your computer is, this might take 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes if you have a really slow computer, so be right back. Okay guys, so finally the simming has ended, and for my fire mage I should be doing 1,120,823 DPS. That's a whole lot. Okay, so results for spec and gear, talents, artifact, just tells you what relic that you're using. This is really important guys. Scale factor for full herpes, damage per second. So ranking, this is just your stat priority. Versatility, then crit, mastery equals haste, and intellect. Right here you got your pawn string that you can use. Like I explained in the basic guide for simming your character, you can use pawn with this string. And pawn is an in-game add-on, and you import this one into the pawn add-on, and then it will tell you based on your step priority what items are best in slot for you. So this is really handy if you're not a big fan of simming all the time. You can use the pawn string right here, and it works the same way like I explained in the basic guides. So here, like I told you guys, you have way much more data that you can play with. You get the K graph, which basically tells you how much damage every ability is doing at the current time during this patchwork fight that it's simulated with. Right here you can see my damage graph. So it basically means ignite and then combustion doing so much damage. Out of combustion we're losing a lot of damage, doing a little bit flatlining here, and then combustion is about to come off cooldown, damage, and combustion's out of, again we're waiting, combustion comes off cooldown. So this is just to show you guys how your DPS works. So mine is pretty based on the fact that we gotta stack a little bit of our cooldowns. So yeah, that's what you see on this graph right here. Here, this is something that you see a lot on, let's say, MMO champion guides, Alter Time, Icy Veins. This is the damage per scale factor graph, which shows you how much of an increase versatility, crit, mastery, haste, and intellect is going to be. So you can see you gotta push it until the like 22. So this tells you how far that you can push it and how much points. So DPS per point is 21.9. This is just basically your step priority. So as you can see, like in the guides I already told you guys, versatility, crit, mastery, haste, they are all really close to one another. Let's just say, for example, that you played that you choose another fight style, you chose other talents that are more gated towards Mythic Plus with a more AoE heavy build, and you pick a little bit more mastery, then your step priority is going to change and your damage per scale factor is also going to change. Okay, so that's it for this part, guys. I'm not gonna go too much in depth into it, otherwise the video is going to be way too long. So how do you know which item is best in slot if you don't use pawn? So what we do, guys, is I already did this in the meantime, otherwise the video was going to be too long. So I simmed. The previous sim that I did was with the with this head, and then with the back right here, haste versatility. But right now, because versatility is main stat, and I got versatility on this one, and I got a little bit more haste and a little bit more versatility on the back. I swapped them out. So I swapped these two pieces out, and then I typed again /simc. And right now, the only thing that we're interested in, guys, is the head portion. So what you want to do right now is take the head portion, only the head portion, and you Control C, go back into Simulationcraft, and then you want to go to Simulate. And here in Simulate you can see heads, and you just switch that. But I switched it recently, so it ain't gonna do much. So you switch that, you type Control V, and I will switch the head that you were the previous simulation with the head that you're wearing right now. The same thing I did for the back. So you just take this string and I copy paste it, Control C, go back to the Simulationcraft, and then you take the back and then you just copy paste over it. But I already did this, guys, so just to show you how much the results were. So DPS wise, I got an increase of 100k. So technically speaking, if you compare the DPS, you can see I did 100k more on this fight because I changed the head and the back. So pure technically speaking, the head and the back is going to be best in slot for me on pure single target. So this is how you know which items are best in slots. It's a longer and more it's a longer way to see what items are best in slot for you. But believe me, this is the most accurate way that you can sim your character. So that's it for this video, guys. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. If you got any questions, put them in the description box down below. If you want to see more of me, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.